Hey, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Guys, we're on to episode 2 of the new series, Unforgotten Music Legends. And today, guys, we have one of my favorite artists of all time, favorite singer. He's one of the best R&B male singers, guys. He tore up the, what's it called? Star Spangled Banner, guys. He did the best rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Everybody says Whitney Houston. I think this guy did it the best. His style has been copied by so many singers coming up after him. Everybody loved his style. The love songs, you know, the sexual power that he had in his music. This guy was a big influence on music, and he was very successful. Unfortunately, he did have a tragic ending to his story. Murdered by one of his own family members. In fact, his own father. So today, guys, on episode 2, we're talking about one of my favorite singers of all time. Also, big influence from Michael Jackson. This guy, the one and only Marvin Gaye. Singer Marvin Gaye Jr., also known as the Prince of Soul, was born in Washington, D.C. on April 2nd, 1939. Gaye was raised under the strict control of his father, Reverend Marvin Gaye Sr., the minister at a local church. Marvin Gaye Jr. added the E on the end of his name later in life. Marvin Gaye sang in his father's church and in the Moonglows before signing with Motown. He recorded songs by Smokey Robinson before becoming his own producer on his protest album What's Going On in 1971. Gaye's later records developed his production style and yielded several hits, including Let's Get It On, Sexual Healing, and I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Spoiler alert: Gaye was killed in 1984 during a domestic dispute with his father. Throughout his childhood, Gaye often found peace in music, mastering the piano and drums at a young age. Until high school, his singing experience was limited to church revivals, but soon he developed a love for R&B and doo-wop that would set the foundation for his career. In the late 1950s, Gaye joined a vocal group called the New Moonglows. The talented singer had a phenomenal range that spanned 3 vocal styles, and he soon impressed the group's founder, Harvey Fuqua. It wasn't long before Gaye and Fuqua both came to the attention of Detroit music impresario Berry Gordy Jr. and were signed to Gordy's legendary Motown Records. Gaye's first certified hit under his own name wouldn't come until 1962, but his early years at Motown were full of behind-the-scenes success. He was a session drummer for Motown legends such as Little Stevie Wonder, The Supremes, The Marvelettes, and Martha and the Vandellas. Showing his stripes as Motown's Renaissance man, Gaye went on to break into the top 40 for the first time on his own in 1962 with his solo single, Hitchhike. Throughout the 1960s, Gaye would show his immersive range, churning out solo dance hits and romantic duets with hitmakers like Diana Ross and Mary Wells. Can I Get a Witness and I Heard It Through the Grapevine were some of Gaye's biggest hits of the period, the latter achieving of his place at Motown's best-selling single of the 1960s. For 3 high-flying years, Gaye and Tammy Terrell wowed the country with their soaring duet performances of songs like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and If I Could Build My Whole World Around You. Unfortunately, their reign as the royal couple of R&B ended when Terrell succumbed to a brain tumor in 1970. His beloved partner's death ushered in a dark period for the singer, who swore never to partner with another female vocalist and threatened to abandon the stage for good. In the 1970s, inspired by escalating violence and political unrest over the Vietnam War, Gaye wrote the landmark song What's Going On. Despite clashes with Motown over the song's creative direction, the single was released in 1971 and became an instant smash. Its success prompted Gaye to take even more risks, both musically and politically. When it was released in the spring of 1971, the What's Going On album served to open Gaye up to new audiences while maintaining his Motown following. Departing from the tried and true Motown formula, Gaye went out on his own artistically, paving the way for other Motown artists like Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. Beyond influencing his peers, the album garnered widespread critical acclaim, winning the Rolling Stone Album of the Year award. In 1972, Gaye moved to Los Angeles and soon met Janice Hunter, who would later become his second wife. Inspired in part by his newfound independence, Gaye recorded one of his most revered love anthems of all time, Let's Get It On. The song became his second #1 Billboard hit, cementing his crossover appeal once and for all. Shortly afterwards, Motown pushed Gaye into touring to capitalize on his most recent success. Reluctantly, the singer-songwriter returned to the stage. Throughout most of the mid-1970s, Gaye was touring, collaborating, or producing, working with Diana Ross and the Miracles. He put off releasing another album until 1976. He continued touring after the release of I Want You, 1976, and after scoring a #1 hit in 1977 with the dance single Got to Give It Up. He released his last album for Motown, Here My Dear, in 1978. Decades later, Got to Give It Up would become the center of a big controversy. In 2013, Gaye's estate asserted that producer-songwriter Pharrell Williams and singer-songwriter Robin Thicke had committed copyright infringement. The Marvin Gaye estate would later win the case, saying, "Pharrell, drop it like it's hot and give me all you got." In 1975, Gaye's wife, Anna Gordy, Berry Gordy's sister, filed for divorce, and 2 years later, Gaye married Hunter, who had by then given birth to their daughter, Nona, born September 4, 1974, and their son Frankie, born November 16, 1975. Gaye also had an adopted son, Marvin Pence Gaye III, from his previous marriage. The singer's marriage to Hunter proved short-lived and tumultuous, ending in divorce in 1981. Despite his successful comeback in the early 1980s, Gaye struggled badly with the substance abuse and bouts of depression that had plagued him for most of his life. After his last tour, he moved into his parents' house. There, he and his father fell into a pattern of violent fights and quarrels that recalled conflicts that had haunted the family for decades. On April 1st, 1984, Marvin Gaye Sr. shot and killed his son after a physical altercation. The father claimed he acted in self-defense, but would later be convicted of involuntary manslaughter. 3 years after his death, Gaye was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Creating beautiful art from a troubled life, Gaye again and again brought his vision, range, and artistry to the world. At the end of his career, he admitted he no longer made music for pleasure. Instead, he said, "I record so that I can feed people what they need, what they feel. Hopefully, I record so that I can help someone overcome a bad time. You dig?" He didn't really say you dig there, but maybe he did. Brother, brother, there's too many of you dying. Yes, the late great Marvin Gaye, one of the best there ever was. Guys, this is a guy who started off in Motown and later on was influenced by the war, what was going on in his life, his struggles, his drug problems, and put it all together in one of the best albums ever created, the What's Going On album. He will always be missed, but he is a music legend, an unforgotten music legend, in fact. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Soul Rebel. Peace.